Commander Zeftar's 4 eyes dimmed as he addressed the young cadets assembled before him in the Academy's Grand Hall. His scarred carapace bore witness to battles fought across a dozen star systems, but none had left marks quite like the ones from the Terran campaign. Today, you learn why the Galactic Council's first rule is never to engage humans in prolonged warfare, he began, his voice resonating through his translator implant. Some of you may think this cowardice. You would be wrong. The cadets shifted nervously. They had heard whispers, fragments of stories about the strange bipedal species from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Stories that seemed too incredible to believe. 40 cycles ago, the hegemony controlled 12 systems. We were proud, powerful, convinced of our superiority. When human colonies began expanding into what we considered our territory, we issued standard ultimatums. They ignored them. Zeftar's mandibles clicked in what his species considered grim amusement. We thought them foolish. He activated the holographic display showing the Kepler 442 system where first contact had occurred. Their ships were smaller than ours, their weapons less sophisticated. Our first engagement should have been our only engagement. We destroyed 3 of their vessels, captured 2 more. By every tactical measure, we had won. The display shifted, showing intercepts of human communications from that battle. But then we heard something that chilled our ichor. Laughter. The humans were laughing as they died. Not from madness or fear, but from something else entirely. Joy. A young cadet raised a tentacle. Commander, surely you exaggerate? Zeftar's eyes focused on the speaker with laser intensity. Cadet, I watched a human pilot ram his crippled fighter into our flagship's bridge rather than eject to safety. As his ship broke apart, his final transmission was a joke about our mating habits. They find humor in the face of death itself. The hologram changed again, showing ship specifications. Within 1 solar rotation, they had reverse-engineered our weapon systems and improved upon them. Within 10, they had ships that outclassed our finest vessels. But technology was not what defeated us. Zeftar moved closer to his audience, his voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried more weight than a shout. It was their nature. We fight for territory, for resources, for dominance. Humans fight for ideas. They fight for concepts they cannot touch or quantify. They call it freedom, justice, the right to exist. Try explaining to your war council why you cannot break an enemy who fights for abstractions. The commander's scarred appendage gestured to his chest, where a jagged mark ran across his natural armor. I received this wound on the mining world of Kepler 438b. A human soldier, mortally wounded, without weapons, crawled through acid rain for 3 kilometers to deliver a message to his unit. Not battle. We studied their history, Zeftar continued. They have fought wars lasting generations. They have faced extinction-level disasters and emerged stronger. They split atoms before they had proper spaceflight, and they used this power to threaten their own destruction rather than surrender to oppression. The hologram now showed the aftermath of humanity's counteroffensive, hegemony worlds not destroyed but transformed. Gardens where there had been wastelands. Schools where there had been military installations. The war ended not with our defeat but with our salvation. When they could have exterminated us, they chose to rebuild us. They turned our warriors into teachers, our weapons into tools of creation. This is why we do not fight humans. Not because we cannot win, but because winning against them would mean becoming something we no longer wish to be. Zeftar straightened, his voice carrying the weight of hard-earned wisdom. Remember this lesson, cadets. In the vast darkness of space, there are many species to fear. But there is only one species to respect absolutely, the humans. Not for their weapons or their ships, but for their refusal to let the universe change who they choose to be. The assembly hall fell silent except for the gentle hum of life support systems, each cadet contemplating the gravity of what they had learned about their former enemies turned greatest allies.